Jason had always been a night driver. Something about the way the city changed after dark made him feel like he belonged to a different world. One where time stretched and people moved like ghosts, flitting from one place to another under the glow of neon lights. It was a quiet night. The rain had just begun, tiny droplets forming lazy streaks on his windshield. Jason stifled a yawn and checked the clock. 11:42 p.m. One more ride, he muttered to himself. Then he'd go home, grab a shower, and crash into bed. The notification came in. A new pickup just a few blocks away. He pulled up to the curb. The man was already waiting. He stepped out of the shadows, moving with slow, deliberate steps. He was tall, lean, dressed in an old-fashioned gray suit that looked untouched by time. His skin was eerily pale, his dark eyes hollow, pools of something unreadable. Jason hesitated. Something about him felt off. Still, he unlocked the door. The man slid into the back seat without a word, the faint scent of something old, like dust and forgotten places, drifting into the car. Jason adjusted his mirror. Where to? The man met his gaze through the reflection. Holloway Street. Jason frowned. Never heard of it. You'll find it, the man said simply. Jason hesitated, fingers hovering over his phone. His GPS wasn't showing any street by that name. Got a cross street? He asked. Just drive. Jason swallowed. There was something unsettling about the man's voice. Smooth, soft, yet heavy, as if it carried more weight than it should. But a ride was a ride. He pulled away from the curb, following the directions the man provided. The city blurred past. The familiar glow of street lights and passing cars gradually faded, replaced by emptier roads. The buildings grew older, more run-down, their windows dark, like watching eyes. Jason glanced at his GPS. The map had stopped updating. The little blue dot flickered, frozen in place. A chill ran down his spine. You sure this is the right way? He asked, gripping the wheel tighter. We're almost there, the man said. Jason exhaled sharply, glancing at the clock again. Still 11:42 p.m. His pulse quickened. He turned another corner, expecting to see more of the city, but everything was gone. The road stretched endlessly before him, flanked by dense trees. The world outside the car had changed, as if he had crossed some invisible boundary. No more city, no more signs of life, just an empty, infinite highway. Jason's breath caught in his throat. He turned sharply to look behind him. The road behind them no longer existed. His stomach dropped. He slammed on the brakes, but the car didn't stop. It kept moving, gliding forward as if pulled by an unseen force. Jason's hands trembled. What the hell is happening? The man remained calm. Drive. Jason's breath came in short, panicked gasps. He jabbed at his phone. No signal. The screen was frozen, unresponsive. The GPS spoke. "Continue driving. Welcome to Holloway Street." Jason's pulse pounded in his ears. His thoughts scrambled for an explanation. "This isn't real," he whispered. The man chuckled softly. "Reality is flexible." Jason's fingers dug into the wheel. No, I have a life. I have a home. His voice faltered. He tried to picture his apartment, his bed, his favorite diner down the block, but nothing came. It was like staring into a void. His memories felt distant, like faded photographs locked away in a box he couldn't open. Panic tightened in his chest. No, this isn't right." His eyes flicked to the rearview mirror, and he froze. The man's reflection was smiling. But the real man, in the back seat, he was completely still. Jason's blood ran cold. The reflection's grin widened, stretching unnaturally. Its eyes darkened into hollow pits. Slowly, it leaned forward against the glass. Jason gasped, his body seizing with terror. The headlights flickered. The car trembled. The world around them warped like ripples on water. Jason gritted his teeth. "I don't care what this is. I'm getting the hell out of here." He yanked the wheel hard, veering into the empty road beside him. The road bent back into itself. No matter which way he turned, the car remained on the same endless stretch of highway. His breath hitched. "This isn't happening. This isn't..." The man in the back seat leaned forward, whispering against his ear. "Drive forever, Jason." Jason screamed. The road consumed him. He opened his eyes. Soft rain, the hum of traffic, the distant glow of city lights. He was in his car. The dashboard screen flickered. His phone buzzed with a new ride request. Jason let out a shaky laugh. A dream. Just a dream. He ran a hand down his face, exhaling hard. He needed sleep. He tapped the screen, accepting the ride. A few minutes later, he pulled up to the curb. The back door creaked open. A man in a gray suit slid inside. Jason's breath caught. His hands clenched the wheel. "Where to?" he asked, voice barely above a whisper. The passenger smiled. "Holloway Street." A cold realization settled into Jason's bones. This wasn't the first time. It was never the first time. Somewhere, buried deep within his mind, he could almost hear the whisper again. "Drive forever, Jason." The clock on the dashboard blinked. 11:42 p.m.